Hello, everybody. Welcome to my live. I appreciate you checking in with me. Today, we are going to talk about spirit guides. And that is from one of the chapters in my book, Between Earth and Heaven, A Beginner's Guide to Living a Spiritual Life. And the reason I'm doing some of these lives is some people don't like to read books, and some people prefer to listen or watch a YouTube video. So I'm trying to kind of cover all the bases. And one of the questions I get frequently is, does everybody have spirit guides? Do I have spirit guides? And the answer is yes. Everybody has spirit guides. My definition of a spirit guide is the highest form of truth and compassion to keep you aligned with the universe. So, isn't that beautiful? I love that definition. So, what are spirit guides? Basically, they are spirits that are on the astral plane, which is we are on the 3D plane right here on planet Earth. The astral plane is where our spirit guides live and where we go in between lives. And sometimes, when we leave our bodies, when we do other things, we are also on the astral plane. Our spirit guides have had many, many Earth lives. Otherwise, they really wouldn't qualify to be our guides. So they understand what it is to be human. Yeah, and another question I get is I tell people connect with your guides every single day, that you want to make them your best friends. And people will say, well, I don't want to bug them. It's like, no, that's their job. Bug them. They want to be bugged. Now, they can't interfere with your life plan. And a great example of that is, let's say, there's a married couple and one couple cheats, and the other one says, I'm psychic, I'm intuitive, I should have known that. It's like, no, if that's part of your life plan, you're not supposed to know it. And so your guides won't interfere with your life plan. And there's free will. There are all those other things. Your spirit guides are there to help you learn the lessons you came here to learn, experience the things that you came here to experience. But again, they can't interfere. Another good example is if your life plan is maybe to have a really bad car accident. Your guides can't stop that from happening. But what they might do is the car behind you has a doctor, or the accident happens near a hospital. They can do things like that to help you out without interfering. So, like I said, everybody's got guides. The best thing you can do is connect to them. So, how many guides do you have? Most people I have found have between 3 and 7 guides. So when someone makes an appointment with me for a session, typically I'll see 3, maybe 4 guides. The only time I see 7 is if someone is going through tragedy. They've just lost a child. Their spouse has died. Something really tragic. And then it's like all the guides are stepping up for you. But typically I'll see between 3 and 4. And you have one main guide, and typically I will see them standing right behind you. They are with you from cradle to grave, from the time you're born till the time you die. Other guides will step forward and step back as you go through life changes. So a great example of that is, let's say the first time a woman gets pregnant, there will be a guide that steps forward to help her understand what it's like to take care of a baby, take care of herself during pregnancy. The trick is, are you going to listen? They'll be there for you, but you have to listen and you have to ask as well. So all your other guides will step forward and step back as you go through major transitions in your life. They are also here for a specific purpose, where your main guide is here for everything. He's kind of like the conductor of everything, and the other guides are there for specific reasons. So when I work with people on how to meet their guides, there are a lot of psychics out there that say, okay, you've got this many guides and here are their names, blah, 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 blah. And I think that's wonderful. I think that's great. To me, it's more powerful if you get that information yourself. So in sessions, when people work with me, I guide them through it on how to do it, because when you don't know what to expect, you think you're making stuff up. You think it's not real, and most people don't take the time to be quiet. And that is what it takes, is you need to be quiet and you really need to focus. It's just that you don't have to do it for very long. That's the thing. It's not like, again, with meditation, people think, I've got to sit there for an hour. No, you don't. And same thing with connecting with your guides. You can do it really, really quickly. And when I work with people, typically it takes 15 to 20 minutes to connect with 3 guides. Now, that's not very long. And that includes the explanation, it includes everything. So, the first thing you want to do to connect to your main guide is you need to start asking questions. People, as they start having paranormal experiences, start awakening, start opening up, that they think they just have to sit there and wait for the information to come to them. No, you ask for it and they will respond. It's really that simple. And almost everybody, when I take them through these exercises, will go, I didn't know it was that easy. It's like, no, that's kind of like life. We try to make things too hard and they don't have to be. So there's the easy part. The other part is you're not making it up. And when we have conversations as humans, it's like I talk, you listen. Then there's usually a beat, you talk, I listen. That's not the way it is in the spirit world. You will have an answer usually while I'm giving instructions or while you're asking the questions. And most people don't believe that's the answer because they're used to that more linear way of conversing with someone. So the first thing you get, even if it's before you finish asking the question, is correct. It just is. And I say it's as subtle as listening to a feather fall through air. And people think it's going to be, my name is Bruce. It's not like that at all. It's just this whisper that kind of flashes through your head, and your job is to grasp it and go, okay, well, this must be real. I'm not making it up because you're not. Here's the secret. They don't care what you call them. They really don't. You can call them anything. But they will tell you if you ask, most of them. Some won't because they might end up being beams of light. That there really isn't a name, but they've decided to be your spirit guide in this lifetime. So don't get discouraged if you don't get an answer right away. So the first thing you're going to do is close your eyes and you're going to say, I want to connect to my main spirit guide. Are you male or female? Sometimes they will show you a gender, sometimes they don't. I usually start with that because it's such an easy question that you get a one-word answer. It's male, it's female, or you get nothing because sometimes they don't want to show a gender. And when you get nothing, you have to accept it and go, okay, they don't want to show me the gender. Let's move on. So once you get that, and the way you're going to get that answer, you might see like a feminine figure, you might see a masculine figure, you might see the word male, female, you might just get a sense because what you're doing is activating your clairs. And go back to the last video last month to understand your clairs and how you're going to receive information. You might just know it, you might sense it, feel it, you might see it, you might hear it. I don't know. Everybody's different. So once you ask that first question and get an answer, are you male or female? You want to ask, what can I call you? You don't want to ask their name because, again, they've lived so many lives and had so many names. What can I call you? And the first name that pops in, and everybody thinks it needs to be something very exotic, an Ishmael, Nebuchadnezzar, or something like that. And more often than not, it's going to be Bob, Susan, Sarah, because they want to give you a name that you can remember, and that's easy for you. That's not true in all cases. Sometimes you will get something very exotic. The first time I connected with my main guide, I asked, what is your name? And since I'm clairvoyant and I see things, I saw MEX symbol, 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 symbol. I said, really, I can't pronounce symbols. Do you have a nickname? Do you have something else I can call you? He said, just use the first 2 letters. So, okay, well, M-E, me. I mean, oh, you're hilarious. So my main spirit guide, his name is me. And if we are all one, I mean, that really makes perfect sense. I know, go figure. So just be prepared for whatever you get. And if it's something you don't understand, you just say, I need clarity. I don't understand. Show me something else or tell me something else. And they will do that for you. And it might take a little bit of practice, but more often than not, I will say 90% of the time when I work with someone, they get the information and they get it quickly. It's some people that they're making it too hard or they're not ready. It's a combination of things. So once you get your main spirit guide's name, then you want to move on. And I usually go over the shoulders and say, I want to connect to the guide over my left shoulder. Because again, it gives you a place to focus and it's kind of still your mind. So I want to connect to the guide over my left shoulder. Are you male or female? And you'll get your answer. And again, it might not be anything. Sometimes it might be a burst of light. And you're going to go, can I call you light? And if you get another burst of light, just take that as a yes. And you might get a name. And you might get, well, it starts with an S, but I'm not sure. Then you just say, do I call you S? Or I need clarity. I need the rest of your name. Just keep asking questions. It's a two-way street. Think of them as your best friends. They don't just say something and you just take it for granted. It is a conversation back and forth. It's no different with your guides. And you want them to be your best friends. All right, so now you've connected to the guide over your left shoulder. You've gotten a name that you can call them. Then you want to ask them, what is your main purpose in being my guide in this lifetime? And you will get something like love, compassion, humor. It's usually quite broad. And take that, because what it's doing again is guiding you. So when there are times that you are just really down and having the blues, you can go to this guide and say, hey, me, you're here. I know you're here to help me with humor. Help me see the humor in this, because right now it's not obvious to me. And they will help you, guaranteed. It's really quite amazing. So now you've got the main purpose of that guide. Now I want to connect to the guide over my right shoulder. Are you male or female? You'll get your answer. And I'm telling you, I've never worked with anybody that has all male, all female. It's usually a combination of two of one. And usually it's one male, one female, and one no gender. But again, they mix it up. It can be anything. I want to connect to the guide over my right shoulder. Are you male or female? Okay, what can I call you? You're going to get your name, or I need clarity. I didn't quite understand you. What can I call you? Thank you very much. What is your main purpose in being my guide in this lifetime? And you'll get that answer as well. Then you might want to ask, are there any other guides that want to show up for me today? And you'll get a yes or a no, and you can keep going and going and going until they quit showing up for you. Because I would be surprised if like all 7 of them showed up for you in your first contact. So usually it's 3, maybe 4. The next thing I want you to do is kind of close your eyes, and you're going to picture kind of a meadow in front of you. And you're going to ask your guides to be on the other side of that meadow and say, I want you to slowly start walking towards me. As you walk closer towards me, I want you to start showing me your hair color, your hair length, your skin tone, your energy, your clothing, things like that. And they might not show you all of it. Some of them don't, because sometimes they're just pure energy. Sometimes they're light. And sometimes they will, usually it's one of their favorite lifetimes, they will show you some kind of ethnic look, ethnic clothing, usually. And especially like with Native American guides, you will typically see a feather of some kind of a headdress, something like that. Another one is East Indian. I have to sneeze, I think. Excuse me just a minute. No, I don't. Excuse me. Thank you very much. East Indian, you might see a sari of some kind. You might see a bindi, something like that, that just kind of clarifies a little bit for you. Does it mean anything? No. Because again, we've all lived many, many lives. They've lived many lives. We've been every ethnicity. We've been every gender. We've been all of that. But we too will have a favorite life or two. Then we might want to just express that now and then when we go into past lives. They're doing exactly the same thing. So it really doesn't mean anything. But it's just something for you to focus on, something for a little bit more clarity. And you'll find that it'll get clearer and clearer the closer they come to you across this meadow. And at one point, they will stop and you'll get the information you need. And you just say, thank you very much. And then they typically will fade or turn around and walk the other way again. So now you've got, how many guides are with you right now? You've got their gender, you've got their name, you've got their look, their persona, their energy. I mean, how cool is that? And again, think of it as a best friend. You know what they look like, you know their energy, you know their name. That's exactly what it is. So, like any other best friend, you want to greet them in the morning. And I will greet my guides every morning as part of my meditation. Now, whether you want to add it in meditation or not is up to you. But I always swear you live a life of gratitude and your life will do a 180. And it will completely go upside down in the most wonderful way that you can imagine. So when you make your guides your best friends, you start out every day with thank you. And my 3 things that I start my meditation with are thank you for, I call them by name, first of all. And I'll say, thank you for letting me do this work. Thank you for always being with me. And thank you for clear messages I'm receiving today for my healing and highest good. Isn't that a great way to start your day? And I don't care how busy you are, because everybody, that's their excuse for not meditating. I'm too busy. Oh, my interruptions. I've got pets, I've got kids, I've got spouses. You go to the bathroom, don't you? And how long does it take to pee? Not, it takes longer than saying thank you for letting me do my work. Thank you for always being with me. And thank you for clear messages I'm receiving today for my healing and highest good. You can do this and make it part of your day. And then at night when I go to bed, I put my head on the pillow and I just say thank you for this day. So this part kind of blew, wasn't great, but this other part was great. And just thank you. And they don't care whether you say thank you or not, but energy does. And when what you're doing is by saying thank you, you're raising your vibration. And that's when all the good stuff starts happening. That's when your life starts turning around. And it's not like, in some religions, you have to worship certain deities, certain people, prophets. It's not like that at all. They don't want, you guys don't want to be worshipped at all. They want to be your best friend. And so your best friend wants, they want thank you. It's just, you don't have to, but it's nice when you do. So another great way I connect to my guides, other than my daily meditation, is when I finish a big project, and that would be writing a book. I've written 3 of them. I'm getting close to finishing my 4th book. When I finish a big project like that, I'll just say, first of all, thank you. And guides, what's the next thing I need to do to take my gifts, you can say my life, to the next level? And sometimes I get an answer just like that. And probably the longest it's ever taken for me to get some kind of sign is about 2 weeks. Sometimes it's instantaneous. And even the 2 weeks, it might have come right away and I just wasn't paying attention, because that happens too. So ask your guides, and it doesn't even have to be when you finish a big project. You can be, I'm at the starting gate right now and I want to connect to my guides. I just did. Thank you. Guides, what's the next thing I need to do to take my life to the next level? I mean, how simple is that? And then watch for the signs. You might see something, you might hear something, you might just get a gut feeling, you might just know it. And a lot of times I'll see things on license plates. I will see things on billboards. I will overhear conversations with things. And it's up to you to pay attention. And it's not like, ooh, 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 I have to pay attention just in case that sign comes. No, it'll come to you and you'll be like, what? Oh my goodness, that must be my sign. It will be pretty darn obvious to you when it comes. And most people will respond with, wow, that was a coincidence. Talk about synchronicity. It's not. It's your guides talking to you. And so pay attention and just say thank you. And I mean, don't you like to receive thank yous? Yeah. People don't demand it. Well, your parents do when they're teaching you. But other than that, most people don't demand a thank you, but it's nice. It's a validation. So do it with your guides too. And it's shocking how it can turn your life around. So exciting. Very. All right, that's all I've got for this month on spirit guides, but feel free to text me at 402-968-7855 or go to my website and you can email me through that at christypeterson.com. And please hit the like button because it does help with algorithms, I'm finding out on YouTube. So I appreciate it all. Have fun connecting to your spirit guides. If you struggle with it, you can always make an appointment with me and I will guide you through it because it's awesome. All right. Bless you all. Bye.